Today, I want to talk about the critical threats facing our planet and what we're doing to tackle them head on. The dangers we face today are unlike anything we've seen before, more severe than even the most powerful weapons humanity has ever created, and trust me, the United States has plenty of those. Just like in my first term, I've made it a top priority to confront these challenges, starting with Iran, the world's leading sponsor of terror. My stance is clear: Iran must never, ever be allowed to possess a nuclear weapon. It's that simple. Early in my administration, I reached out to Iran's leadership with a generous offer: full cooperation in exchange for halting their nuclear program. But instead of taking the deal, they doubled down on threats against their neighbors and U.S. interests across the region. Well, let's just say many of Iran's former military commanders are no longer calling the shots. They're gone. And just 3 months ago, in Operation Midnight Hammer, 7 American B-2 bombers dropped 14 30,000-pound bombs on Iran's key nuclear facility, wiping it out completely. No other nation could have pulled that off. Our equipment, our precision, our strength are unmatched. We did what others had wanted to do for 22 years. With Iran's nuclear capabilities in ruins, I brokered an end to the 12th-day war between Israel and Iran, getting both sides to lay down their arms. It's a huge step, but there's more to do. I'm also deeply involved in pushing for a ceasefire in Gaza. It's got to happen. Hamas, however, keeps rejecting reasonable peace offers. We can't ignore the atrocities of October 7th, and yet some are pushing to recognize a Palestinian state, which would essentially reward Hamas for their horrific acts. That's not the way forward. Instead of giving in to their demands, we need to unite and demand one thing: release the hostages now. All 20 of them. We don't want them back in pieces, 2 here, 3 there. I've been down this road before, working with folks like Steve Witt and Marco Rubio to bring most of them home, but I always said the last 20 would be the toughest, and that's proven true. We also need to return the 38 deceased to their families. Those parents want closure just as badly. On another front, I've been working tirelessly to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. I thought that'd be the easiest of the 7 wars I've helped end, given my good relationship with President Putin. But war is unpredictable. Everyone expected Russia to wrap it up in days, but here we are, 3.5 years later, with 5,000 to 7,000 young soldiers dying weekly. It's a tragedy that never should have started. Russia's not coming out of this looking good, and it's partly because countries like China, India, and even some NATO allies keep buying Russian oil, funding the very war they're fighting against. That's got to stop. If Russia won't negotiate, the US is ready to slap on powerful tariffs to force an end to the conflict, but Europe needs to step up too. You're closer to the fight than we are. Beyond that, I'm calling for a global halt to biological and nuclear weapons development. These weapons are so devastating they could end the world as we know it. Reckless experiments already gave us a global pandemic, yet some nations are still dabbling in bioweapons. That's why I'm launching an international effort to enforce the Biological Weapons Convention with a cutting-edge AI verification system. Together, we can reduce these existential threats and build a safer future.